Napa know-how.
Right now, a quart of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil is just $4.99. That's an amazing price for an amazingly good oil. But don't wait too long. This deal only lasts until July 7th. So do something amazing for your ride and get Mobil 1 full synthetic for $4.99. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
General States pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. Limit 12 bottles per customer. Offer ends 7/7/19.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
Welcome to WHW Monday. Tony Schiavone and Conrad Thompson.
Jim Crockett First Arcade, 605 NWA. TV title, Cajun Omni, the Bunkhouse Stampede. Flair and Horseman, Garvin, Bogey, Magnum, Dusty, Express Tag Team. Turner, Bond, Mid-South Joy World Championship Wrestling.
Talking about the great years of World Championship Wrestling, the NWA, and Jim Crockett Promotions.
Tony and Friends North they win. Look, Schiavone's back again. World title split off center stage. Bischoff, Disney, Hogan, and Nitro. New World Order and the Crow. Thunder, Russo, Arquette Champ, Vinnie Mac, simulcast. Tony's back with Conrad, not your classy podcast. Watch along, try not to laugh. Lowest rules can't pass. This wasn't the initial plan. Tom Zigg's a good-looking man. Klondike Bill, make a chant. Tommy, you come over here.
What happened when?
WHW Monday. And now, let's go to the ring. And here's your co-host. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to What Happened When? What happened when we dropped a second episode on that ass this week? Tony, what's going on, man? How are you?
Love to drop stuff on that ass, don't you?
Well, I do, especially with our friends over at Blue Chew. But we're going to bring you today's show commercial free. But what we're going to do is we're going to get in our Wayback Machine. How about 35 years ago to July 7th, 1984? It's the Mid-Atlantic television program. So in the WWE network, pull up Vault, look for Mid-Atlantic Wrestling, and then go to 84, July 7th, 1984. And we're ready to get it. Tony, let me know when you're ready. We'll wake up Lois, see if she can't give us a countdown. And
I am ready to get it. And this is, let's bring in Lois. Lois, ready to go.
3, 2, 1, play.
Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling.
I'm going to play the music here for the fans.
Okay, go ahead.
That theme music, man, it takes you back, doesn't it?
Oh man, that gets the old blood going here. Take a look at this.
What a shot.
Wow. National Wrestling Alliance banner. And I don't even know who's starting this out. Is that Bugsy McGraw? I'm not even sure who that is. Holy shit. That looks like Dave Meltzer in white tights.
Oh my gosh. What's wrong with you?
It does. And I'm trying to take down. Who the fuck are all these guys? Well, here's Pistol Pez. I know that.
Listen, you got to make up names for them.
Okay.
So
well,
we have fun with this. Just make up names.
All right. Pistol Fez going up against Joe Lee Duck. Arm drag takedown. And he's going to tag in Tan Boy. Tan Boy ahead of steam. Watch out. Leapfrogs and a drop kick. Fuck. And now tag in, and here comes 80s mustache guy. He looks like he's from Alabama, doesn't he? Take a look at that. Yes, sir. I'll sell you a trailer right outside of Huntsville.
I think this is from the rec center in like Shelby, North Carolina.
It's probably either from Shelby, North. Oh, look at her. She got adjusted in her seat on that one.
What do you think? Is that right? Shelby Rec Center?
It could have been. Yeah, Shelby Rec Center. Shelby Rec Center, by the way, is where the Rock and Roll Express won the World Tag Team Championship.
And it's where Dave Flair lives now.
Wow. At the Rec Center. Wow.
Yeah, he lives at the Rec Center.
Uh-huh. The referee, by the way, is Stu Schwartz. That I know. I remember that. Notice how it's kind of, your hard camera's kind of off to the side. Isn't that odd?
Yeah. The positioning is different, but I'll tell you this, I like it.
You do.
I like it because it's different,
Right.
and it almost gives you a feel like if you were on a bleacher, so you're there live. Like, I like that. I like when, you can sort of
Right.
take yourself out of the norm.
Oh, you know who this kid is in the black tights? It's Angelo Mosca Jr. How about that? Angelo Mosca Jr., who became the Mid-Atlantic heavyweight champion for a time, too.
Tony, listen, we're trying to do comedy here on the show. Instead of you just it dawning on your old ass who these guys really are, let's just make up names. It's more fun. All right. Jimmy has got Anthony backed up into the corner. Jimmy's going to try. Oh, Anthony reverses it, comes out like a house of fire. Scoop slam from Anthony. Anthony makes the cover. Oh, Jimmy's not having it.
Anthony. Hey, Anthony. My cousins called me Anthony. There's a good shot of the heads of the crowd and a tag.
Oh, and here comes Arn Anderson's cousin.
Yes.
That's Arn Anderson, because his career is fucking dead.
Exactly. But the difference between Arn and Ern was Ern didn't have a head like a pumpkin.
Yeah. And Ern didn't earn any money in wrestling.
And Arn earned plenty. Look at Anthony. Scoop slam. Big scoop slam. Doesn't know what to do next. So you just fucking tag in Fez Watley. Oh, Shaska Watley. Sorry about that. Shaska.
Now tell everybody the backstory on calling himself Shaska.
Okay. It was during the time of the Shaka Zulu King. And he thought he would call himself Shaka. So he came up with Shaska. And I said, it's Shaka. And he said, yeah, Shaska. So no, it's Shaka. And he said, yeah, Shaska. I said, okay, it's fucking Shaska.
I don't know if you could hear, but in the background, Kevin Sullivan was telling you he didn't like that idea.
Yeah, he didn't at all. He thought it was Shaka too. But we went with Shaska.
It was a Shaka that y'all let him do it. That's what the real Shaka was.
Oh, it's going to be the 3 count. 1, 2, Stu Swartz down on all fours. And the team of Shaka Watley, Anthony, and Dave Meltzer Jr.
There you go.
Are your winners in the opening bout. Let's take a look at the replay once again. Conrad, take it away.
All right. 2 dudes bouncing off the ropes. 1 dude hits a flying burrito. Arn Anderson looks like he is down for the count. And now, how about this? Well, ladies and gentlemen, Bob Caudle here with one of the greatest of all time, but arguably one of the ugliest belts ever. Tully Blanchard, tell him why you're out here with $4,000 worth of ones.
I got $4,000 worth of ones. This is how much I made this week here at Jim Crockett Promotions. The fact is, I came here all the way from West Texas, was told that I would make a lot of money. I got to stick this in my pocket because if I don't keep it, I won't have a great payday tonight. Here we are in Shelby, North Carolina, and I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing here. You know, this is only a few months after we started doing stuff on TBS, and I wasn't a big star until we started going to TBS. But let me tell you this, Bob. If you ever go to if you ever go to jail, I'll pray for you. That's exactly right. But I don't think you'll go to jail, Bob. But I think Jesse Helms probably would have gone to jail if he lived long enough. The fact is that if you ever go to jail, I'll pray for you, and I'll do all I can. I'll make your life great. I'll put these glasses on, these glasses that are cocaine dealer glasses, and I will hold the ugliest belt of all time. This is the WCW, or actually NWA World Television Champion belt. So long for now.
How about the way they spell Kimala? On the preview for this from WWE, they spelled it Kamala, but here it's Kima. Bob Caudle here, and we're with the man in the yellow hat. You may remember him from Curious. Wait, hang on. Nick Patrick's dad wants to say something.
Let me tell you something. My name is the Assassin, and I'm going to run wrestling one day all by myself. They're not going to call it the gorilla position. They're going to call it the Jody position. That's right. Jody Hamilton's the name. And did you know who my brother was? Do you realize that my brother was the Missouri Mauler? That's right. Missouri Mauler was my brother. Is that a surprise or not? They're having me talk because I was really one of the best talkers in the business. And I don't know what they have this guy in this yellow tuxedo to my right, because I'm the assassin. I am the assassin number 1. That's right. Let me tell you something. That's right. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. That's right. Let me tell you something. God, I wish he'd tell us. That's right. let me tell you something. I was a terrible promo. All right, fuck this. Let's go back to the ring.
Why was it? How did Paul Jones get over? I mean, was it just familiarity?
I don't know. He was a very good worker, but
Why are you lying to people?
no, he was. He was a very good worker, but he was a terrible promo.
How about this?
What the fuck? This is Kimala.
Not Kamala, Kimala.
Kimala. Oh, God. Oh, Paul Jones brought him in.
He was also, I guess we should mention that, early in his career, he's all over the place, mostly in the South. But then he really probably popped off and rose to prominence more in world-class wrestling than the CWA or Mid-South. I mean, that's when I hear people talk about him more in world-class than I do even in his time in Mid-South or the CWA. But then in 84, this same year, he's going to pop up, in the WWF. And I think it happened later this same month, sometime, in July of 84, I think is when he first pops up. And, he has a real good run there in 86 and 87. They put him against Hogan, and, he was a worthy opponent, and he would pop back up in 92 and 93. And then he showed up with you guys in like 95, but then allegedly didn't want to do the job and quit.
Right. And basically never to be seen from again on a nationwide level, right?
Yeah, I think everybody's familiar with the fact that he's had some health challenges, and that's right. Unfortunate. We like to have fun on the show, but we're not gonna mock that.
No, we're not going to do that. And it's pretty obvious that you take a look at someone like Kamala, and you take a look at how he looks and how big he is and how mysterious he is, and he would have been. It was the right guy to feed Hogan, right? Because they were feeding guys to Hogan back then.
Yeah, just get a monster and feed him to him.
Exactly.
And this by definition is a monster. I mean, it's a giant man, and he's got a crazy mask, and he's painted. And now, here's the other thing that I guess is we're burying the lead, but it's one of the most racist gimmicks ever, is it not?
Oh yeah. Not only is it racist gimmick, but Paul Jones came in with his riding crop and started beating him like he was a wild animal. How racist can you get for that? Gee whiz. And now obviously it's a handicap match, 2-on-1. And I always liked the quarter moon or whatever, gimmick on the belly. I always thought that was fucking cool. I always thought that, I know the mask was a trademark and the stars, but that crescent moon on the belly to me was pretty fucking cool.
He has one of the most collectible action figures around. I don't know anything about action figures. Actually, Dave Silva just smartened me up that whenever you see action figures advertised with MOC, that means mint on card. I had no idea. I'm not a figure collector. The only wrestling figures I have, I was gifted. I don't think I've bought a wrestling figure since 91.
Huh. So MOC means mint on card?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that either.
So like the actual cardboard, the packaging is mint, okay, and the figure is.
Wow. That's something I'm sure Zack Ryder would know. Kamala is your winner. 3, 2, 1, go to break. 3, 2. Oh, don't go away. We'll be right back. That would make me stay. Wouldn't it make you stay? That graphic right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm coming right back with you guys. All right. Chief Wahoo Mcdaniel. Oh my God. One of the toughest men ever in the world. Let me tell you something, Bob Cottle. I beat more men up tonight at the bar than most people beat in a year. I don't take any bullshit. Do you know one time that I walked about, 300 miles for a 6-pack of, I think it was a case of beer. They said, Wahoo, you wouldn't do it. And I said, don't fuck with me. No one fuck with me. Because I'll beat up men, I'll beat up women. Wait a minute, Wahoo. Wait a minute. You don't talk like that. You wouldn't never hit a woman, would you? I mean, is the story true that what happened in Charlotte one time that, I had a little bit too much firewater, and I was at Bennigan's, and a woman said something to me about how much she didn't like me and how much she was pissed off that I turned heel, and I just kind of backhanded her. Police came. Tony Schiavone ran like a scared little bitch back home. All right, Chief Wahoo McDaniel. Don't fuck with him, guys. He is legit and a badass motherfucker.
Wahoo McDaniel, as we're seeing the footage here of Steamboat and Wahoo, and this is definitely when Steamboat's still on the come up.
Right.
He's not yet become the world champion. That won't happen for another 5 years, but he's been TV champion. He's been US champion, and guys like Wahoo are helping make him, establish him, because this is very much Wahoo's territory and has been for a long, long time. Chat me up about Wahoo though. Is it true that Wahoo was into Amway?
No, I don't think so. Paul Jones was into Amway. That I remember, because Paul Jones approached me about Amway. Cowboy Ron Bass was into Amway. If Wahoo was into Amway, they never talked to me about it. Those guys, other guys did. Wahoo never talked to me about it. No. But he might have been. I mean, a bunch of guys were into it, trying to make extra money. But yeah, Wahoo was, I say that, and I was, laughing about the time at Bennigan's where he did get in trouble, but he was a tough motherfucker, man. Old school tough motherfucker. And I had a lot of time for Wahoo. I really did. Of course, I had stars in my eyes too when I got to hang out with him, because I grew up watching Wahoo McDaniel. Fuck, he was a longtime U.S. champ, Mid-Atlantic champion. And I watched him while I was in high school and while I was in college. And now all of a sudden here, I was kind of hanging out with him a little bit. It's a big fucking deal, man. Big fucking deal. And he did a great job of, and notice that girl down at the front row, man, she is just really into this match. This is probably like at the Greensboro Coliseum or maybe the Charlotte Coliseum, one of the, real,
What's wild about it too is there's no divider for the fans, really. I mean, there's the tiny little blue strip, but I mean, there's nothing to that.
Right.
Wahoo McDaniel, by the way, maybe not the biggest physical specimen, but man, he'd still work long matches.
Yes, he would. Yes, he would. I saw Wahoo McDaniel, Ric Flair go 60-minute Broadway, double juice, as they say. Wait a second.
The ref goes down with a ref bump and somebody's coming out with a chair. Oh, he's aiming for Wahoo, but he nailed Ricky Steamboat and he didn't care. He's still getting after it.
I think it's Blanchard.
Yeah, no, it's definitely Blanchard.
Yeah, Tully Blanchard. And Tully and Wahoo, not too long after this, became tag team partners when Wahoo turned heel. And Wahoo looking at Blanchard, and there you go.
What's the
Wahoo
referee's name? I forget.
What's that? The referee, Sonny Fargo. Wally Dusick handed the belt in, the great Wally Dusick. And, of course, Tom Miller over there. This is Greensboro Coliseum. I can tell by Tom Miller. And Wahoo gets the win. There you go. What do you think of that belt? That's the belt that became completely silver eventually, didn't it?
Yeah, it's all silver right there.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of red paint on it. A little bit of blue paint. Yeah, God, I loved Bob Caudle. Just absolutely loved Bob Caudle.
What a classic voice, too.
Just classic voice, and he knew how to put guys over. Bob was just always in the background, and he didn't overshadow any of the wrestlers. And they're going to show once again how all this happened. Whoa.
Yeah, I guess we should tell everybody that that happened in Greensboro, North Carolina on June 24th. Right. And on July the 1st, they're going to strip Wahoo because Tully Blanchard interfered. Wahoo's going to wind up winning a tournament in October, beating Manny Fernandez in the finale. But that was that was how Ricky Steamboat lost his first United States championship. Steamboat beat Dick Slater in December of '83 in Shelby, North Carolina, and was the champ for what, 100 days or so. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Quite a while. 100 days, a long time in wrestling to be a champion. Take a look at Buddy. Is that Buddy Roberts? And Terry Gordy?
Yes, it is. 2/3 of the Freebirds are here, baby.
Wow. I never remember the Freebirds being in Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling. Maybe it's because Michael Hayes wasn't with them. I never remember them being here. And I was working for Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling part-time, but I was going to TV tapings back then. Wow, this is pretty cool.
What do you mean you don't remember?
I don't remember them. I remember the Freebirds when I was a fan wrestling for Georgia Championship Wrestling. Obviously, I remember all the stories, the Freebirds wrestling in world-class wrestling. I never remember the Freebirds, Terry Gordy and Buddy Roberts wrestling in Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling ever. So this is very, very odd.
There's a rumor that they showed their ass at Jim Crockett Jr.'s wedding or bachelor party or something like that. So there's a lot of wrestlers, but eventually the Freebirds were behaving badly enough that Harley and Wahoo shut it down.
Huh.
And asked them to leave. You ever hear that?
No, I've never heard that story, and I can understand why they wouldn't be in Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling for long after that. And as tough as Terry Gordy was, and I'm not so sure about Buddy Roberts, I don't think he wanted to fuck with Wahoo and Harley if they want to shut something down. Do you?
I think they only did like a couple of TVs here.
Right.
I think they did something in Raleigh where Kamala attacked Dusty and Dusty was on a stretcher.
Okay.
And I think behind the scenes, and this could be all just bullshit too, but I think Michael Hayes didn't always get along with Dusty in this era.
Okay.
I mean, is it a surprise though that Michael Hayes had a problem with authority?
No, not at all. But this looks odd. This doesn't look Freebirdish to me.
Well, cause there's, the loudmouth ain't there.
Yeah. This is fucking ridiculous.
Hey, where you at on club sandwiches?
I'm for them. Are you doing the Mitch Hedberg routine here?
No.
Okay. You know who this is in the mask? Story Funk Jr.
Really?
Yes, it is.
Is that Gary Hart?
No, it's Ole Anderson with him. Yeah, Dory Funk came to Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling for a while with as the Outlaw, and he's wrestling Rocky Kernodle here. Don Kernodle's brother.
Don Kernodle. He will chat up a lady at a fan fest. I'm going to tell you.
Oh boy.
Jay-Z Flair knows what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So that's Dory under a mask, huh?
Yep, that sure is.
How about I didn't know he was under a mask? I wish all of his public appearances now were under a mask.
You're right. It was Gary Hart. Look at that. I thought it was Ole Anderson. Fuck.
I was going to say, that's the skinniest Ole's ever looked, but I ain't going to correct it. But God damn, it looked just like Gary.
Yeah, Gary Hart. I don't know why.
So he called himself the Mass Outlaw or the Long Tall Texan.
It was called the Outlaw, I think. Yeah, and why he wore the mask, I don't know. I guess they tried to come up with something different.
Maybe because if he was Dory Funk, he had to win every match because he was a former champ. But
right,
if he's under a hood, it doesn't matter, and he can still keep some checks coming in.
Right, he could do the job.
Have you seen the banquet that was recently uploaded on the WWE Network where they honored Terry Funk the day before Barely Legal for ECW?
No.
I think you would appreciate it. Joey Styles is the host, and it's like a banquet Terry Funk appreciation dinner. And so I got a bunch of rounds, and all the boys get dressed up, and one by one, they bring guys up just to talk about what a major influence in their wrestling career and their fandom Terry Funk was and how important he was to their career. So it's guys like, Sandman and Chris Candido and Taz and just one after another. But Candido tells a story where, right after the match, while Terry's still bleeding and he's got, tape on his head and he's in his gear, he's going to like IHOP to get something to eat. And he's so embarrassed that he's in public, dressed like this and eating like this. And Candido says, so I told that story to Dory, and, then I had to wait a couple minutes before he spoke, like anytime you have a conversation with Junior. And the crowd fucking died, and I've never had a conversation with Dory, but I guess that's the thing. Like, you'll say something to Dory and there will be an uncomfortably long pause, and then he'll start talking. Right. Yes. I was really hoping you were going to do that to me right there. We'll try it again next week. Okay. Dory always did things in slow motion, which goes back to this.
I always liked Terry Funk. I always liked Dory. Loved his wife Marty, great woman. But I never did. I guess it was because it was before my time. I didn't understand why Dory had that long run as a world heavyweight champion.
You didn't understand what?
To me, I guess he was one of the biggest stars of all time, right?
Dory?
Yes,
No,
he wasn't.
no.
Okay. But he was one of the longest reigning world champions of all time.
Okay.
I just didn't see I just didn't see it.
You're saying just because he won the belt and held it for 1,563 days,
Uh-huh.
that made him over?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just didn't understand it. I don't know.
It is pretty crazy when you think about it, that the longest reigning NWA champion ever, Lou Thez, 3,749 days. And that's between three reigns.
Right.
Ric Flair second, 3,116 days. Then Harley Race, 1,799 days. It falls off a cliff. But then Dory fucking Funk Jr. with one reign, 1,563 days.
That is an amazing stat.
One reign.
One reign. That is an amazing stat, how long that lasted. And I guess the fact was that everyone thought when he would come to your territory as NWA champion, there is no way he's going to walk out. Your top star is going to beat him. And he walked out with the title every time.
What's crazy is I think everybody, would you disagree with this? That Terry Funk was the bigger star and the better wrestler of the two?
Yes, I think that's what I think I was trying to say.
Terry Funk was only champ for 424 days and Dory was 1,563.
That's mind boggling. It's absolutely mind boggling.
Here's the most mind boggling thing of them all. Guess who the fifth longest reigning NWA champion of all time is? You could guess 1,000 times and you wouldn't get it.
I was going to say Ricky Steamboat.
How about Dan Severn?
Jesus.
Dan Severn. Steamboat was only champ 76 days.
Wow. Well, I tell you, and of course the NWA champion, there's a classic Dory Funk Jr. uppercut.
Now I think his European uppercuts were probably, to me, the best thing he did. And I know that,
Sure.
Bruce Pritchard, if he was listening to this, would be super hot because Dory and Terry are his two favorite wrestlers because that's what he grew up on. And I do think that, like, your favorites when you're a kid, you carry that forever. And he grew up in the Texas territory. So to him, the Funks were God.
I understand that.
And it was all about Terry and Dory, but fuck, man, I just can't get into Dory Funk. And I want to. I'm sure he's a nice guy and I can appreciate the history and that he's a legend, but man, I'd rather watch fucking Jeopardy.
Right. We're saying the same thing. When I say I don't get it, I just never did get it about him. But then again, you think about this. Back when he was the champion, the champion was decided by the NWA board of directors, by the promoters, right? And there was probably a lot of political maneuvering going on and arguments going on. And didn't Jim Barnett book the world champion for a long, long time? I'm not trying to insinuate anything, but it was a lot of, probably for Dory Funk to hold on to the title 1,400 days. There was probably a lot of political maneuvering going on, wrangling going on for him to keep that title. Or they just forgot about it and said, oh, wait a minute, he's still the champion and we better have him drop it. It's an amazing story. And I agree. It doesn't work for me, Dory Funk being the world champion. Because when I first saw him, and this was the time I first saw him in person, I was thinking, wow, this is Dory Funk Jr. And he did everything kind of slow motion, including answer anything you would ask him.
Right.
Gary Hart had a pretty good head of hair back then. It's about the time, this was right after the first Starrcade, when Gary Hart and Kevin Sullivan and Mark Lewin were all together and had that match where they opened up Scott McGee's head. We've seen that. We've had that here it's in the archives, and Had a lot of time for Gary Hart, man. I thought he was a very smart guy, very cool guy, and always knew the wrestling business quite well.
Man, what a long match they're giving Dory here on TV.
I agree, man. Gee whiz.
So, I don't know if you saw,
Oh, wow.
but, your boy Cody had a birthday this past weekend.
Well, happy birthday, Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare.
I think he's the ripe old age of 34.
Jesus. 34 years old. That's about right. He was about 2 years older than my twins. My twins are getting ready, will turn later in the year 32. And Cody was wrestling at Lassiter High School. One of the twins, Tim, was wrestling at Pope High School. And Cody was the legend of Cobb County, the legend of Georgia, actually. And now look at him. Are they going to finally end this match? Thank God.
Yeah. I mean, dude, this,
I know.
can you imagine if they put this on TV on a Monday night?
Watch out. Put down that whip. Oh my God. He whipped him with a whip.
By the way, there's a Terry Funk whip on eBay right now for $800 if you're into that.
Will we get a combo deal?
I just think it would be tremendous to see you running around the house trying to come up with creative things to do with the whip.
And the belt buckle? Put the belt buckle and the whip together.
Oh, now it's a torture deal. What are you doing?
With Nikita Koloff. Shadota. Coming up next. Oh my God. Adrian Street and Miss Linda.
Oh, let's just listen to this. We can't mess with this.
Please.
You know, any animosity that I might have borne towards James Valiant has been completely dispelled by this dreadful bounder, Paul Jones, who's interfered in my business just too many times. He's interfered in my matches, which I definitely will not tolerate. Now, I intend getting at him, never mind what. He's put two almost unsurmountable obstacles in my path in the name of Kamala, who is an absolute giant, and the other guy. But whichever way it goes, I'll get through him. I'll get through the assassin anyway, just to get at Paul Jones.
All right, Adrian Street right there. Fans.
Dude, Adrian Street, freaking legend.
What the flying fuck we got here?
Well, I'm standing here with two gentlemen to my right. This on the right looks like The Rock if he never discovered steroids and had no acting ability. Take it away, Fake Rock.
Yeah, I'd like to say that I'm one of the Youngbloods, and my name is Mark Youngblood. To my left is Jay Youngblood, and you may know that Jay Youngblood was in real life a real pompous prick. That's right, Bob Cotto. I was a pompous prick. Not only that, as you can see, I've attempted to take steroids, but unfortunately, they do not look good on me. So I just painted my face. I was never over. Ricky Steamboat was the one that was over, and I was on his coattails. Now I'm looking at Mark Youngblood here, trying to get on my coattails, but guess what? I don't have any coattails, because I never was fucking over. Not only that, I'm dead. D-E-D, dead. That's right. I can open these eyes wide, and with that black face paint, it makes my eyes look white.
I love that you spelled dead D-E-D. If you think that's not going to be a shirt soon, you're mistaken. All right, in the ring, Nikita Koloff.
Looks like he's got an Olympic medal.
Yeah, but it's not.
No, of course not.
What would it be? The Olympic medal of pretending to be Russian?
You know who he's fighting?
It's your boy, Action Jackson. That's who it is.
Exactly.
Mike Jackson, by the way, looks like he knows where all the good weed is. And he's got, what is the name of that fucking band? I've got it on the tip of my tongue.
Okay. It's the
Nope.
The Holy Grail. No, that's the word that I can't. That's true.
What is his name? What are they?
What are they?
Damn it, this is annoying me.
It's, I don't know. The band that smokes weed? Black Crows?
No. Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, Fleetwood Mac.
Fucking Action Jackson looks like the sixth member of fucking Fleetwood Mac right here.
Mick Fleetwood.
Dude, tell me he doesn't look like Mick Fleetwood. Like that is Mick Fleetwood's fucking cousin. He couldn't play percussion. So he played wrestler, but they still smoke the same amount of weed.
That's Mick Fleetwood's cousin, Mike Fleetwood.
That's fucking legit. Look at him. You love it now that you put it together.
Yes, I do. Yeah, Mike doing some shit here, buddy. Yeah, too bad. Caught in mid. Oh, he slammed him down hard.
He slammed him down how?
Hard.
God damn, I love you, Tony Schiavone. I'm going to be sad when you leave me too.
I'm not leaving you. I'm going nowhere. I'm going fucking nowhere. For life.
You know how I know that's true? I'll tell you off air how I know that's true.
Okay.
I've learned some things this past week.
Hey, this is before the Russian sickle. Obviously,
see, they at least knew how to keep a match short. Imagine if Dory Funk's match was that short.
Imagine if Dory Funk's match was still going on.
It might be in the back. He may not know it's over.
This is when Nikita first came around.
I don't know why, but you saying came around makes me happy.
You like that, huh? Oh, well, they just went to the slow-mo and there was no slow-mo. This is back then. Crockett's, they left town with a show and they didn't do any editing. And now we're going to see the Freebirds wrestle without Michael Hayes. I guess.
All right, sports fans, we're here at Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, and we're going to bring in a couple other guys that Conrad Thompson has no fucking funky idea who they are. So I'm just going to stick the mic in your face. Tony, take it away.
Well, they call me Shaka Watley. No, but I'm Shaska Watley. That's right. Pistol Pez Watley. Shaska Watley. That's right. Over here to my left, there's a guy, and here's a finger. And over to my right, Angelo Mosca Jr. You talk about a guy that has absolutely no talent. None. I got all the talent on the team. We had a 6-man tag to start out with, and I had this jabroni as my partner. What the fuck is wrong with this picture? Just because I'm a black man means I have to do the job? Fuck no. I want this Italian to my right to do the job. I'm doing no more jobs because Bob Cottle, I'm Shaska Watley. Not Shaka, Zulu King, Shaska Watley. That's what I'm going to be called. Doesn't matter what Tony Schiavone says. All right. Are you as stupid as your old man? I understand that Bobby Heenan used to really play pranks on your old man. Was he really that dumb? Yeah. Yeah. He was a big Canadian star, but he was pretty fucking dumb. And me, I'm not much brighter. And I'm here because I'm here to do the job for Pistol Pez Watley. When we're a tag team and we got to do the job, I'll be the Italian that does the job for the black man. Pez, I just like to say I have no idea why I'm over. I have no idea why they're giving me a push. It may be just because of my dad. All right. Never turn your back on an Italian. You understand that, don't you? Absolutely. And are we done yet? That's right. We're done. The fact is, Pez, you've got this Italian as your partner. That's right. We're going to be calling it Pistol Pez, Shaka Watley, and the dumbass Mook Italian. Over on my right, the Mook and the black man. That's what we are. The dumb Italian. You know, he's so dumb. His last name's to be Schiavone. Woo! That's right. Schiavone. That's a dumb Italian name. And we understand that he has also been holding the microphone for us. How fucking long is this interview going to fucking go?
Keep going.
Jesus Christ. I don't know what else to say. I don't know. My name is Angelo Mosca Jr., and I'm as dumb as my dad. Fuck. The fuck?
This is the era of let's do 9 million promos.
Right. Exactly. And they also would put promos in there that they would cover up with the local promos. There were 2 positions.
Do you think that this is the most, this promotion did more of the talking them in the seats than anywhere else?
Yeah, I think so. Flair, Dusty, Arn.
Okay.
No question. Without question. I want to tell you an Adrian Street story. This was in 84 during this time. This is when I was backstage doing the local promos. This is the time I was doing them. And we would do them on Wednesdays, sometimes on Thursday, but mostly on Wednesday. And Adrian Street was part of the promotion back then. And he would, now and then, you see that long mic that Bob Cottle had?
Yeah.
Okay. He would take that long mic and stick it between his legs.
And pretend.
And then walk up to me and says, "Time for you to grab your mic."
Mm.
And I would say, "I'm not grabbing that mic." He said, "Grab the mic." I said, "No, I'm not going to grab it." And then he would laugh and pull it out. Pull the mic between his legs and hand me the mic.
So you would pull it out and slap it on your face, you're saying?
Oh, no. He would pull the mic that he had between his legs, the real mic, and hand it to me. He wanted me to reach towards his crotch is what he was after.
Oh, I see.
You see, and I wouldn't do that. And he would say, "Oh, I'm just kidding." And then he would grab the mic and hand it to me.
You know, that was your go-to. You told me
what?
That you would go, like, you know, make a pitch to a lady. And then if they were like shocked or anti or not into it, whatever, you'd say, "Oh, I'm just kidding." But if they were for it, then you were in.
I don't remember telling you that story.
No, you did.
No, really?
Yeah.
Okay. When did I tell you that story?
I don't remember the exact date and time. It wasn't like a major moment in our friendship.
Apparently it was, because you remembered it. It apparently was a major moment.
Well, okay. So you only remember major moments now?
No. And so I said, "Oh, I'm just kidding."
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't remember that?
That sounds like a creepy guy to me.
Wait, you just talked about people opening up their Holy Grail for you. Now you're worried about something sounding creepy.
Oh, okay. Oh, you misconstrue when I say Holy Grail what I mean.
Oh yeah. Well, please correct the narrative.
Okay. Well, yeah, I just, the Holy Grail can mean anything.
Okay. So when you're talking about you want to fall into someone's loins and have them open up their Holy Grail for you, I need you to clarify what it is, because I was reading it all wrong, and that's on me.
Well, you could fall into somebody's loins, and if they open up the Holy Grail, they could be just pop a top on a beer, and the beer could be the Holy Grail, or pop a top on a soda, open up a soda, and or open up a pack of Slim Jims.
Talk to me about
snap into that could be the Holy Grail. It's whatever you want the Holy Grail to be. The Holy Grail is what you are after at that time. You see, it's what you're after.
But what the loins? Talk me through that.
Loins, okay. Tenderloin, it's a very good part of the steak.
Okay, we're going with that bullshit. All right.
It's not bullshit.
Well, I mean, so open up your steak and give me your Holy Grail, which could be a beer. So open up your steak and give me a beer. That's what you said.
Right.
We're going with that.
Right. That happens at a restaurant a lot.
What, that people open a steak and find a beer inside?
No, they open the steak, they cut in the steak, they open it up, and then they pop a top on the beer and drink the beer and eat the steak. Where the fuck are we going with this? Anyway?
I don't know. You were talking about something being creepy right after you talked about women opening their loins, but now you're like, "No, bitch, cook me a steak and open me a beer." Got
it. Meanwhile, in the ring, the fabulous Freebirds. Did you notice the stars and bars on their shirts, on their jackets?
Yeah.
Wow.
Some of this stuff doesn't age well.
It does not. So how's Cassio doing?
He's alive, man. We went and saw our great friend, Corey Ryan Forrester, who you can't wait to remind me every time I invite you to see him that he's not funny.
Mm-hmm.
And,
I don't say that every time.
No, you do.
No,
What, when you shit on somebody, why don't you just own it? What's the big deal? You don't like Corey's comedy.
Oh, okay. I don't like Corey's comedy, but doesn't mean he's not funny. I just don't like his comedy.
Right. It's not that you don't like his comedy. It's just that he's not funny. It's sort of like when you want to jump in someone's loins and get their Holy Grail, you really just want a ribeye and a Miller Lite.
Exactly.
I've learned a lot from you today, Tony.
But how's Cassio, by the way?
He's good. He was on stage right after Corey and crushed.
Did he? I bet he did.
He crushed. I've seen Cassio's sets now, I don't know, off and on for 10 years. And I think he did one of his best ones he's ever done.
Well, he was probably sober.
He was.
Yeah. Unlike the set he did in St. Louis.
Yeah. Here's the way that one starts. Hey everybody, my name's Matt Mitchell. Some people call me Cassio Kid. I host a morning show, Rocket 95.1 in Huntsville, Alabama. Also got my own podcast called Cassio's Cut, but most of you candy lickers know me from What Happened When with Tony Schiavone. Yeah. So anyway, my name's Matt Mitchell. Some people call me Cassio Kid. I host a morning show in Huntsville, Alabama called Rocket 95.1. We got my own podcast, Cassio's Cut. And of course, a lot of you candy lickers know me from What Happened When with Tony Schiavone. Yeah. So anyway, I'm Matt Mitchell. Some of my friends, it was like he was fucking, like, you ever had like a CD skip on you?
Right. That's what he was doing.
But it wasn't a bit. He didn't know he was starting over.
No, he didn't. And then, of course, then he asked who drove furthest to get here? And he asked that like 10 times.
Yes. That was the best part of the show, though. I thought
we were pretty funny too, actually.
Well, my favorite part is when Cassio
dropped his drawers.
Well, I wasn't going to say that, but yeah, I mean, I guess he did do a little criming.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's illegal.
Yeah, it is illegal. And it happened on our stage.
I have no ownership of that building.
Well, you have to own the building when we have taken the stage. Look at this. Fuck. Fold him up like a fucking cheap suit. There's no way that guy's getting up from that.
No, ever. Oh, at least he's moving his limbs.
Yeah, that's fuck.
Gordy,
the fans love it. Woo.
Gordy was not here to fuck around.
No, he was not, man.
Not on Wednesday.
Just picked him up. Are they going to show this again? Oh yeah, we're going to see. Well,
like a sack of taters and squeeze the fart right out of him.
Oh, are we going to do this
All
again?
right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here with, I feel like this is deja vu. We've already been here. I guess we're killing time. And Paul Jones, you've got something you've been waiting to say.
Let me tell you something right now. You may think that this tuxedo and this cane are a gimmick, but I actually wear this around the house. That's right. Let me tell you something right now. Not only that, we are filling 2.5 minutes because they're going to cover this up with a local promo. And it could be in Greensboro, could be in Charlotte, could be in Tampa when I worked in Tampa, could be in Atlanta, could be any of the number of territories or towns that I killed. But let me tell you something right now. I'm going to do most of the talking since the assassin did most of the talking earlier. Jody Hamilton, one of the most talented guys in the business, one of the best talkers ever in the business, but he never got his due. They called it the Jody position. We all knew it was the gorilla position. Let me tell you something right now. Let me tell you something, Mr. Cottle. I've got a son who's a shitty referee. I got a son who's going to be part of one of the worst angles ever. And that is Hulk Hogan and Sting at Starrcade in 1997. All right. That's in the future. Now let's bring in, oh my God. Don Cornotto was a world tag team champion back then.
That's right. And I'm a world champion of chasing coups. All right. Now here's what I do. I get out here to Holiday Inn and I put my vest on and my shirt and my pinky ring. Now this pinky ring right here looks a lot like the one that Conrad's having made for Tony right now. It says SDD. Now, if you want to know what that stands for, meet me down at the Holiday Inn. You buy me a draft beer. We'll just see how it goes. Maybe we could have some chicken and some sex. Now, to my right, it's a man who's, he has a little trouble getting laid. Now, it might be because of his forehead, might be because of his beard, might be because he don't speak English, or it might be because he's got a life alert necklace on right now. Now, he's cramping my style, but I'm just letting you know, he ain't my real life daddy. And he ain't my tag team partner in the bedroom, if you know what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is I want to take you to my version of Space Mountain. Now, it ain't as big as Flair's, all right? And you can't ride it as long, but goddamn it, it's honest work. And if you want a shot at this belt, the tag team championships of fucking, you got to meet me down there at the Holiday Inn. Just look for the pinky ring and the draft beer, and I'll be near.
That's right. They teamed me with this fucker. I was a world champion in the WWF, and they teamed me with Don Cornotto. What the flying fuck is wrong with my career? I thought my career was on the upswing. They said, come to Crockett, come to the Mid-Atlantic Territory, help put over Nikita Koloff. And they team me with this piece of shit from North Carolina. What the fuck is wrong? Well, and I shouldn't say fuck because I just got Christ in my life. But the fact is that Don Kernoodle is a world tag team champ. I'm a world tag team champ. We got to make the best of it. So there you go. This is it. We are the world tag team champions. Me and Don Kernoodle, when he's not chasing pussy, will go out and try to win a belt. He blows up. He blows up about 2 minutes into a match. And then I've got to do all the work.
So long, everybody. Meet him at the Holiday Inn. He's ready to take on all comers.
So what'd you think of that show, man?
Absolute horse shit.
Yeah.
What were y'all doing? Y'all weren't even trying.
No, look, this is back when the TV shows weren't it. The TV shows were just vehicles.
I love that so far. Jesus Christ. This is the third time they've given David Crockett, like the first credit, David Crockett, the second credit, David Crockett, the third credit, David Crockett. At least there's other names in here.
Howard Caldwell. God, I remember Howard. Good guy. Wayne Daniel. Holy shit. Brenda Evans. Knew Brenda very well too.
Oh, did you know her biblically?
Let's see. Jack Crockett, Doug Dillinger.
Oh my God. We found one.
Well, and Klondike Bill. You know what he did with that lighting, don't you? He stuck it up girls' butts.
What? Wow. We're ending the show at just the right time today. I can tell. Tony, when I look at my clock, I feel like it's about that time.
Absolutely. It's just about that time. And for Chief Wahoo McDaniel, Don Kernoodle, and the wrestling Jesus himself, Conrad Thompson, I'm Tony Schiavone. This has been a very special edition of What Happened When on the MLW Radio Network. Guess what? We're desperately out of time on MLW and on
Patron.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following. If you want more of Conrad Thompson and Tony Schiavone, don't waste your sorry ass time. Head over to patreon.com/WHW Monday, complete with behind the scenes videos and new content every week. That's patreon.com/WHW Monday. And by LowestRules.com, one of the hottest sites over on ProWrestlingTees.com, the place to get all your favorite t-shirts from What Happened When. Remember, LowestRules.com, named after the craziest lady that you've ever met before in your life. And trust me, she'll break your skull quicker than Bischoff can FedEx you walking papers. You know what I like about her? She can chug a beer. So give me a hell yeah. Head over to LowestRules.com. BoxingGimmicks.com, complete with coffee mugs. What? Baby onesies. What? Beach towels. What? Koozies. What? And a whole lot more to shamelessly show your support of What Happened When. What? Something to wrestle with. What? And 83 weeks. What? Head over to BoxingGimmicks.com. And that's the bottom line. Tony Schiavone's a goddamn office stooge.
It's Universal!
This is the wizarding world of Harry Potter.
Running to Hogwarts, running to Hogwarts.
Look, here comes Bumblebee and Optimus Prime. This is Transformers The Ride.
Careful, here come the walkers. Hurry, they're after you.
This is the Walking Dead attraction. This is incredible!
This is amazing!
This is Universal. Come join us at Universal Studios Hollywood and visit us online to get our California Neighbor Pass with over 175 days for only $149. Pass valid for 9 months from selected first visit date. Blackout dates and restrictions apply.